AFTV DT, oh my God, man, that weren't looking good at all. If you watch the watch along, you will see that there was a lot of very nervous Arsenal fans in there, very angry, because the performance was not good in comparison to last week.
Yep.
You've got to give a lot of credit to West Ham. You know what I mean? They came with a game plan. They played very, very well.
Yeah.
And they had us under the cosh for long periods of that second half, but Eddie Nketiah right at the end there with a massive goal.
Yeah, the best team lost that game. Let's be real. All right, we've got to hold our hands up sometimes and say it wasn't good. It looked very lethargic. It looked very lazy. It looked very disjointed. But what you will look at is the scoreline and the victory and the 3 points. So it doesn't really matter how you play as long as you get over that line. So what this might do is keep a few people's feet on the ground, make them realise that there will be bumps along the road. And I've said this so many times, it's never going to be perfect every single week. We're not going to win every single game. But winning ugly is also an important part in football.
It's very ugly.
That was very, very ugly. And it's not one of those games that's going to be first on match of the day. It's not going to be one that you go, oh, you know what? It's quiet this week. Let me have a little watch of a game and have a little look back on it. You'd be like, nah. But it's 3 points, Robbie. And I think that what was key for me was that we weathered that storm that West Ham threw at us in the second half. And we were all sitting there saying it's coming. A goal is on its way. And they hit the bar and you're thinking, oh man, something happened. Someone do something. Someone take the game by the scruff of the neck. And I think we then changed the formation slightly and there was a little tweak to it. And then Xhaka got more on the ball. And there was a moment in a 5-minute period where he put 3 passes over the top and were releasing us through the channels. And it started to pull West Ham back further and they were then less creative. And then Sabaya started to pick up little pockets. Saka became more influential. They started to worry about Aubameyang even more. And ultimately, that was that moment for us where we were able to open. And literally seconds before that goal, we were saying, we need a moment of magic. And it was your words that actually said, we need a moment of magic. And Saka burst into the space, opened up, Ceballos, and we're screaming shoot. Beautiful pass, brilliant from Eddie to stay onside. And that's the kind of confidence that he's taken from maybe the England under-21s, scoring a hat-trick and everything else.
I even forgot that he's been on fire goal-wise, hasn't he?
So he has. So, little things like that, that little tweak, that little adjustment was enough to get us over the line. And yes, like I said, it's not going to be one of those that you write home about or we're going to talk about or highlight or anything. But we got the 3 points.
You know what? Right at the start of the game with Tierney being out after it just seemed to mess with, I don't know, did it mess with the equilibrium of the team or did it just mess with the comfort? What was it? Because they got off to, the start was shaky. Then we got the goal, then we was on top. Then we were shaky again, second half shaky again. They let them get back into it just before the the break.
Yeah.
And then again shaky, but
do you know what it is, Robbie? I don't think we ever had a control of that game. At any point, did we really feel like, yeah, this is all right today, we're controlled, it looks comfortable, it looks relaxed. We always felt like we were an accident waiting to happen. There were some really poor performances out there. The Tierney situation, that's not going to help, 15 minutes before kickoff. Kolasinac was absolutely dreadful. And I'm not going to dig him out too much because you only have to watch the performance to see how poor he was. And it summed it up when he broke on the channel in the second half, put a good cross in the box, and he goes and slices it for a goal kick. And that was like, please, 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 I wish you well with your future endeavours, but if you need a lift to Germany, I'm open to offers. And I can't say no more on, his performance. Rob Holding, shaky, really, really poor. And what concerns me with Rob is that he'll have a good performance, bad performance, good performance. There's no real consistency. I would rather we actually throw Saliba in the deep end. and give him a game because
don't we need to just take a step back and say, listen, it's the second game of the season. It's early in the season. That's what I was saying to some of the guys, and it's early. Players are going to be rusty. They ain't even really had a proper pre-season or nothing. I know we've had the FA Cup and we've had a good, but there are players out there that are still trying to find their feet.
The thing with Rob Holding, right, there was a reason why Mikel Arteta initially wanted him to go on loan. And 2 weeks ago, he was literally out of the door on his way to Newcastle. That wouldn't be happening if certain things were not seen to make Mikel Arteta say no. And then obviously,
done a U-turn.
And I'm going to say, he's then done well. I also think part of the U-turn may have been our injuries in defence. And it might have forced Mikel Arteta's hand a little bit to say, you know what, he can work.
So would you still send him on a loan then?
If we've got everyone back, then yeah, because I think if everybody's fit, he doesn't start ahead of Luiz, he doesn't start ahead of Mustafi. I wouldn't start him ahead of Saliba, wouldn't start him ahead of Gabriel. So you're talking fifth choice centre back. Then you've got Mari coming back from injury. So yeah, I would. Okay. But like I said, I'm not going to dig the players out in that respect. I'm just going to say they played poor. I thought Ober had a very quiet game by his standards. I thought Lacazette played well today. I thought Willian played well today and was trying to do things because the two substitutes of Willian and Lacazette, we were all sitting there going, well, they've been two of our better players. Why are you changing them? Well, obviously, that's why Mikel Arteta's manager, because he got it right. But then, look, today was big because of what we've got on the horizon. Wednesday for me is a big game. Of course it is. But it's not got the pressures and, what the next 3-4 league games have got.
And the big one, of course, is that Liverpool one before we go into international break.
Yeah.
And again, we have to play better than that.
If we play anything like that, then Liverpool will have a field day against us. But maybe playing away from home and against Liverpool style suits the system that's there. This is the thing that I think Mikel Arteta has got to try and tweak with, because at home, when teams play this low block, we become very one-dimensional and we become very flat, void of ideas. So maybe that's where things need to be changed and a formation needs to be different. Away from home, I think that's perfect for us and it suits us. So maybe going to Anfield, Etihad and Old Trafford and places like that might actually suit us because they're away, and then we've also got Sheffield United in the mix. So it'd be interesting to see how they do this weekend as well, because they had a poor result first time out. But it's a win, Robbie. And, 2 wins out of 2, we can't moan for once. We can have a little grumble, but it is what it is. We move on, and Leicester on Wednesday night.
No, this isn't a robbery at the end of the video. We are telling you about these brand new masks from Mask SC in football-inspired colours. You can get your team on it. The link is in the description. Get on it right now.